You might already know more English than you think. You might know hello. You might know thank you. You might know I don't understand. That's not nothing, that's a starting point. And today, I'm going to tell you simple, real English sentences that you can actually use in your life, starting today. Not textbook sentences. Real ones. The kind that make people think, wow, your English is really good. Let's start with the first one. Can you say that again, please? This sentence is your best friend as a beginner. It means I didn't understand. Say it one more time. And here's the thing. Native speakers say this all the time too. Even in their own language. So you never need to feel embarrassed. Imagine you're at a coffee shop. The person at the counter tells you the total price, but they speak fast. Instead of just handing over your card and hoping for the best, you say, "Can you say that again, please?" They smile, they repeat it, and you understood. That's a win. Can you say that again, please? Next sentence. I'm still learning English. This one is powerful because it's honest. It tells people, be patient with me, I'm working on it. And most people will immediately become kinder and slower when they hear this. You're in a conversation with someone new, maybe at work or at a party. They ask you something complicated. Instead of freezing or pretending you understood, you say, I'm still learning English. They relax. You relax. The whole conversation becomes easier. Honesty is not weakness. In English, it's actually a social skill. I'm still learning English. Now here's one that beginners almost never learn, but should. What does that mean? It means I heard that word, but I don't know it. Explain it to me. Short, clear, and completely natural. You're watching a video in English and your friend says a word you've never heard, something like awkward. You turn to them and say, what does that mean? They explain it, you never forget it, and now you have a new word. That's how vocabulary actually grows. Not from a list. From real conversations. What does that mean? Let's keep going. I think I understand. This one is soft and honest. It means I'm getting it, but I'm not 100% sure. It's much better than just saying yes when you don't fully understand. If you keep saying yes to things you don't understand, things get confusing fast. Imagine someone is explaining directions to you on the street. They finish and ask, did you get that? You say, I think I understand. They might offer to repeat the key part. And now you actually know where you're going. Much better than walking in the wrong direction. I think I understand. Here's a small but important one. How do you spell that? This comes up more than you'd expect. Someone tells you their name, a street name, a company name, and you need to write it down. Instead of guessing, you say, how do you spell that? People love this question because it shows you're paying attention. You're at a new job. Your manager tells you the name of a client, Stephanie Kowalczyk. You say, how do you spell that? She laughs a little and spells it out. You write it correctly. You look professional. One simple sentence does all of that. How do you spell that? Now, let's talk about a sentence for when you want to silent for a moment. I'll think about it for a bit. In many languages, silence feels okay. In English conversations, people use words instead of completely going silent. This sentence is good for conversation without being rude. Someone asks you a question, maybe, what do you like to do on weekends? And your brain is suddenly blank. You say, I'll think about it for a bit. No panic. Next one. Could you speak more slowly, please? This is a sentence beginners are often afraid to say. They don't want to seem rude. But it is not rude at all. It is polite, it is direct, and native speakers respect it. You're on a phone call, maybe with a bank or a doctor's office. The person is talking fast and you're catching maybe half of it. You say, could you speak more slowly, please? They slow down. Everything becomes clearer. You handle the call. That's real progress. Could you speak more slowly, please? Here's one for starting conversations. Where are you from? 3 words. Every beginner knows these words. But the magic is in how you follow it up. After they answer, you can say, oh, that's interesting. I've never been there. That's a full small conversation right there. You're at a language class, a gym, a waiting room. You turn to someone new and say, where are you from? They say Japan. You say, oh, that's interesting. I've never been there. They smile. You smile. A conversation has started. That's not hard, that's human. Where are you from? Now a sentence for when you agree with someone. That makes sense. This is natural, warm, and very commonly used. It means I understand what you said and I agree with your logic. You're in a meeting and someone explains why they want to change a plan. Instead of just nodding, you say, that makes sense. They feel heard. You sound confident. Win-win. Beginners sometimes say yes, yes, yes to everything, which can feel a little nervous. That makes sense feels calm and natural. That makes sense. Let's do one more for understanding. I'm not sure I followed that. This is slightly softer than I didn't understand. It means I was listening, I tried, but I got a little lost. It's kind and honest at the same time. Someone explains something complicated, maybe computer instructions or a recipe with many steps. You say, I'm not sure I followed that. Could you go over it again? They will. And this time, you'll be ready. I'm not sure I followed that. Here's a sentence for when you need help. Can you help me with this? Simple. Direct. Works in almost any situation. You're at a store and can't find something. You walk up to an employee and say, can you help me with this? Done. You're in class and a question is confusing. You go to the teacher after and say, can you help me with this? Done. This sentence removes the long, complicated explanation. You just need help. Say so. People like helping. Can you help me with this? Now something for expressing how you feel. I'm a little nervous. This sentence does something special. It names the feeling, which actually makes the feeling smaller. You're about to speak English in front of people. Your heart is going fast. You turn to the person next to you and say, I'm a little nervous. They say, me too. Suddenly, you're not alone. And those first words you speak in English after that? They come out easier. Naming a feeling is a skill. Not just in English, in life. I'm a little nervous. One more. I'd like to practice my English. This is a sentence that opens doors. When you say this to a native speaker or a fluent speaker, many of them will actually slow down, be more patient, and talk with you longer. You meet someone at an event who speaks English well. Instead of staying quiet, you walk up and say, I'd like to practice my English. Is that okay? And that conversation, however short it is good practice. Better than paid app. Better than a classroom drill. I'd like to practice English. And the last sentence today, thank you for your patience. This one is for the end of a conversation where you needed extra help. After someone slowed down for you, repeated something, or explained a word, you say this. It shows maturity. It shows respect. It makes the other person feel good about helping you. And it makes them want to help you again. You just finished a tricky call with customer service. The agent was kind and slow and clear. Before you hang up, you say, thank you for your patience. They feel appreciated. You feel good. That's a real human moment in English. Thank you for your patience. You just practiced 15 real English sentences. Not grammar rules, actual words for actual moments in your life. Sentences for when you don't understand. Sentences for when you need help. Sentences for starting conversations and for ending them with warmth. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick just 3 of these sentences and use them in a real situation, at a shop, with a coworker, on a phone call, anywhere. Just 3. That's all. And when you do, leave a comment and tell me which sentence did you use and what happened. I want to know.